Hi, my name's Andy Williams and I'm one of the search specialists here at Kuzai, and today I'm going to be talking to you about local SEO and link building that goes with it. Now obviously link building is a very important part of any SEO campaign, and it's even more important for local SEO. But before we look into that, I think it's important that we look into some of the basics and make sure that they're in place first. So hopefully on your website you will already have the address. Now this is very important, and it sounds like an obvious one, but you'll be surprised how many people leave that off. Now some people like to put it in the footer, that way it can be on every single page and it's not a problem. Next one is the phone number. Again, sounds obvious, but a lot of people miss it off. And it's very important to have the address and the phone number on the site, because then it links up with all these links that we're going to be building later on today. The next part that I would expect to be in place is your Google Places profile. Hopefully that's also been verified and you filled in all the relevant fields. If not, make sure you've done that before you move on to this part. So, link building. Now, the first area that I'd like to look at is the yellow pages section. Now these are kind of pretty much what they say, yellow pages. So you've got the likes of Yale and 118 and Thompson. Now what you might have found was that your Google Places profile has already been made up. Now that's because the likes of Yale and 118 have already supplied Google with this information. So you might have come along and all you needed to do was verify your account. So this highlights how important it is to be linked from these places. Others that I recommend are Yahoo Local, Smile Local and Scoot. Now a lot of this information is fed by these sites onto Google, so it's very, very important that you make sure this is your first stop. Next area that I would look into is local directories. This is very much the same as if you were building links from any other directory, but this time you need to look locally. So for example, I would search for business directories and then the area that you're in. From there are other directories that you can look at, including FreeIndex, HotFrog, which has been hit by the Panda update, but I would still suggest that you place yourself there. There's no harm in doing it. People are still using the site. People are still looking for information from there, so use it. Applegate is also an important one, and BizWiki, which is kind of like a directory, kind of like a wiki. Again, all the information that's fed in here ends up being put into your Google Places account, or at least has some sort of a knock-on effect to it. Next up is social media, which you're probably more familiar with than any other, and the likes of Yelp, which I'm sure everyone's heard of. Now, Yelp and Google have had their ups and downs recently, but it's still very, very much important that you're listed on here, if only because the community uses it and therefore you might get some custom that way. Other sites that are very familiar are We Love Local, Brown Book, Kype, Bview and Tipped. Now, if you verify these accounts and you verify your listing, it also gives you the option to add more information. So you could add some images, you could add more descriptions, opening hours, the products that you supply. So it's very much the same sort of information that you're able to put in your Google Places account. So again, make sure that that's verified. And again, there's TripAdvisor as well. They've had a bit of bad press recently, but we're still seeing some sort of information going through to Google there, so it's very much important that you're listed there. So I hope that gives you some kind of an overview of the sort of places you should start building links from these areas, and you'll start seeing improvement within Google Places and your local SEO placing. So I hope that's helped. I've been Andy Williams. Make sure you check us out on kuzai.com, like us on our Facebook page and look on YouTube for some of our videos. Thanks a lot.